This is the video for routine 102 of the perspective game. It sets NG to 0, and then for R of 0, and way down below here, it changes R for each one of the rows. Remember, there are 21 rows of trees. It sets T to the row index for that row, and X to the row start position. But then it sees if the start position falls below 600. If not, it'll go to CE and continue. But if the starting position falls below 600, that means it's run out of trees to move to the right. It has to add another tree to the set of trees for that row. So here it's going to do that. But first, it has to move all the tree information it knows one position further down in the list. So here it takes tree tall, and here it puts it into hold. Then it takes hold and puts it one position past T. The same here for wide. Gets the wide, puts it in the whole row, and then puts it one position further back in Y. Wide. Does it for the tree number, and then it also does it for the X position and the Y position of the tree. So we're adding another tree to the row. Now, next thing it does, it goes and gets that tree. It sets RG to R, that's our row number, and TG to T, which was our row index number. Then it goes to the routine, the subprogram at LA, that goes and gets another random tree. Once it gets the random tree, then it resets the start and the X position for that particular row. Now I've highlighted the rest of this routine in green. It adds the X value, row half of that row. In other words, the space between the trees, now it has to add half of that spacing to get the position of where the base of the tree is. Then it sets N to the number of trees in a row, but it has to add one because it always has an extra tree because they're moving. Then for J of 0, and down here to N, one at a time, for each one of the trees that's supposed to be in that row, it says the X position is set to XG, the Y position is the Y position for that row, the tall and wide for that tree are set, it's the teeth tree. Then it does an adjustment to where the tree is, so the trees won't appear to be in a row. There's a little adjustment for X and a little adjustment for Y. Then it sets P, the control register for pictures, to the tree's number. But we'll learn later on in the subroutine at LA that some trees are replaced with animals. So the next line says, if the picture is less than 549, go to CI. That's because it is a picture of a tree. That all the ones at 549 and higher are animals. So then it has to set the animal PS for NG to that PS number. Then it sets the animal's X of NG to that X value. Then it increases that, subtracts 20 from that because it's an animal. It's not a tree, so it shouldn't be that high up in the air. And it also subtracts it from Y to adjust it because it's an animal and not a tree. Then it shows it, whether it's a tree or an animal. Then it adds the jump value, that's the distance between each tree for that row. And then it increases T, the number of the tree, by 1. And here's the end of that loop over the n number of trees or animals that it puts in the row. Then it adds the row advance of R to the row start position, and then it says, well, end of the loop for the 21 rows. And that is the end of this routine for the perspective game.